Yeah. All right. So we've uh, deployed finally a version that is uh, free from the bugs that plagued us for kind of long time. Very much thanks to Lukas and his reviews and help and effort. He helped quite a lot to find what was actually bugging us there. So finally, as I understand, currently we are doing much better, but hopefully Clary will tell us more. And soon we'll fix the new things that Clary found and will be perfect. I think that's it with us.
Yeah, I got now the Nethermind working with the interceptor, so it's kind of producing good results. There's still a couple small issues, but like the one I shared in the Telegram about that the Nethermind is missing those two fields that are missing from the. They were also missing for the spec, but we discussed about them before of adding them. But I don't think adding them is that difficult because they're kind of almost already there.
Yeah, we'll update it today, later today, and we'll see if it
But
will all be up to spec.
But yeah, I continue testing the Nethermind more, and it's now very nice because now it's kind of functioning like everywhere where I have been tested so far. So it's going to be easier to test, and I can just test the differences between Get and Nethermind easier. I'm not just getting the same error that I used to get every call.
Have you actually been able to test the blobs?
Those are something I haven't tested yet, but yeah, I should try to test those. It's because I need to set up the network, and I generally hate setuping stuff, so it's always more difficult for me to kind of get into that. So I need to set up some network that is kind of has forked already, then test them. But I guess
Thank
I
you.
can also test them in the Girly or somewhere else as well. But I guess are you expecting them work, or do you feel that they shouldn't work yet with the Nethermind?
We'll see.
Yeah, so as for me, I pushed some changes that were that I had locally and updated some images. Basically, it has the newest version of Geth. So I updated my branch, and I had some like merge conflicts to work through. And yeah, also updated the base, blob gas price field to blob base fee as it is now in the spec. Yeah, I also made some other change that I kind of posted in the chat. Basically, I removed some of the early validations that we do in Geth. I felt like it was not super necessary because those errors will be caught by the EVM. So it's just that they will be returned at a later point during execution. So yeah.
What are those validation checks?
It's things like checking that, I don't know, when you're creating a contract that you have some code for it, or like just some checks that will be done by the EVM anyway. But and for some reason I had also added them like prior to execution, but I feel like that's not really necessary, and it was creating a lot of hassle for me too, because that code changed quite a lot recently in Geth. It was a pain to just keep it up to date. Yeah. So
okay, so that's kind of like to make it simplify the pull request to make it smaller as well.
Yeah, it was more of a simplification to the pull request. And I and you Hillary, you ran the test and there was no changes as I expected. So I feel like this should not affect the results in any meaningful way. Yeah, right now I'm working on something like that might be useful for you. Basically, we have the dev mode in Geth. You can spin up a network very easily to test stuff. So if you want to test blobs in Geth, that would make it so much easier. But right now they are not working. Like blobs are not working for dev mode, so you cannot send blob transactions. But that should be fixed by tomorrow, and then yeah, if anybody wanted to test, then that's one way of doing it.
Can I somehow easily set up the test RPC to be kind of in the forget network already? Shouldn't that be easy in a way that I should be able to say some config that it has forked already?
Yeah, so it is like in this dev mode that I'm talking about, you can just provide a flag to override the Cancun block number. And then you can basically
Okay,
can
so
say that.
The dev mode is in the test RPC?
Sorry?
The dev mode is in the test RPC setup, or is it something?
What are you talking? What do you mean by test RPC?
I would run the Hive tests, and for there I would want to run the Hive tests in the kind of the upgraded network and not in the kind of old network.
I see. No,
So
that's
I
a bit
could add
different.
blob tests there.
That's a bit different. So in Hive we have the chain config. So like the Hive simulator. Do you have a fork of Hive? I think you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just have to change one line there. I will send you later today. I'm outside at the moment.
Yeah. I wonder if that's something that should be done in the Hive, or I don't know how the Hive is going to be operate. Like, is the Hive going to kind of fork at the same time after Ethereum, or how it's supposed to be working, like the default config?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess we should change it at some point. I mean, I think it depends on the other tests. Like we should do. I think something I can try just to update to Cancun and see if anything starts breaking, because we don't want to break existing tests.
Yeah, but some of the some of the tests are breaking for Cancun, then I feel that there's something wrong that we should be fixing.
I'm
Like,
not
should everything
sure.
kind of work in the Cancun? All the old tests.
Yes, so things should work. Yeah, I mean, if something breaks, it's probably just because of like it expects a different number of blocks in the chain or something like that. So, like something in the test suite itself. So nothing should break that, because we don't have a backwards incompatible change in Cancun. So
Yeah.
but it would be interesting to try. Yes.
Yeah, I think we should test setting the blob transaction in the each simulator as well. Even though they should be really simple, but it should be still tested.
Yes, sure. Anyway, so that was it for me.
Does Lucas have had time to update us?
Not that much. So still working a bit with Oleg on stabilizing and reviewing stuff. But the thing that was quite visible for me is that, maybe Oleg can comment more, is validations around balance, I think, right?
Yep.
That's probably can you Oleg tell more, because maybe you
Yeah,
have better
so
context.
one of the probably most special things about what our client currently consumes is the fact that to do actual transactions, we take from you not only the amount of gas that you need to do to have to pay the transaction, but there is some extra fees relayed on top of that that are based on like minimal minor fees that are required. And I don't think we have it currently anywhere in the spec. And
Well, that's normal execution in
Yeah.
EVM, that you charge the maximum fees for transaction, right? You based on the things like max maximum priority fee. That was the one I was looking for. And then you potentially refund it, right?
Yep.
So also like intrinsic gas, etc., all those things are taken deducted. And I'm not sure how GEF works here. Does it have a different mode in ETH call and ETH simulate in terms of checking balances for being able to pay for this gas? Sina, do you know about it?
So what I can say is that by default, when you do ETH call or ETH simulate, we set the gas prices to 0, so that those validation checks will always pass, and basically nothing will be deducted and refunded.
Okay.
Isn't that only
What
case
about
if the user loses
intrinsic?
them out?
Sorry?
The user takes them out and not kind of define them, then I guess they are set to 0. But if the user defines them, then they are what they are.
Yes, and if the user sets any gas price field, then it will be like normal mainnet. So we will check, and we will like reduce the max fee at the beginning, and then refund anything that is left at the end.
Okay. So it's pretty simple solution. I think we can try to replicate it.
My question would be, what do you do, Sina, when the validation is on?
I feel like gas price it's not any different in on, like when validation is on versus when it's off.
So we keep it at 0.
Okay, so that's what you mean. So if validation is on, do we default to gas price 0 still?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I should look that up.
Potentially
we do.
we shouldn't go with 0 because that's not realistic, right? We should probably check the gas price on the current chain and go with something there.
Well,
I think we I think we default to 0 and it will just fail.
Could you repeat, Kalari?
I think we'll default to the 0 there and it will just fail.
Well, it won't fail with 0, right? Or why would it fail with 0?
If you have the validation mode, then it should check that.
In Nethermind invalidation mode, you, I think, won't be able to set it to 0 because there is this minimal like amount that is required for.
Wait, so but I have a question. On mainnet, if a miner were to include a transaction that has 0 gas price, will that work?
No, because there's a base fee.
It
needs to pay the base fee, right?
Yeah.
It would have worked prior to 1559, but now it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is something that I should definitely look at. Yeah. But do you guys also do any Coinbase transfer for the simulated block?
Yeah, I think it should be. It's a block, right? So if there are priority fees, it should go to the Coinbase.
Yeah, but I mean, no, I mean, like, there's no mining reward, right?
Ah, you mean e- yeah,
I guess,
there's
I mean,
no, there's no mining
no.
reward.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah,
But
there's
how is
no
this?
mining reward post
I'm
merge,
not
right?
sure.
Because
No.
yeah, post merge there is nothing.
Mining rewards are on CL side, so
Oh.
it's not mining. Validator rewards are on the CL side. We only have fees on the EL side, which I think should still go correctly.
Yeah.
So what we can potentially do in the validating mode, we have we can get gas price, right? Directly from how we do it in the RPC and set it as default. What would be my potentially?
So I mean that would mean that we will produce inconsistent results because gas price is an estimate.
Yes.
How it's in the spec at the moment is that the gas price is always set to 0 if it's missing, and if you're in the validation mode, then transaction will fail. And the idea there is that if you are setting the
Or-
validation mode, then you should also provide the proper
Yeah.
gas price and
Okay,
and
or we can
gas-
just fail the transaction if it's not supplied. Okay, that's
Yeah.
if that's fine to fail it, then it's fine.
of course, the error is not the best if it's complaining about the gas price. The best error would be saying that the gas price is missing and you should provide it on the validation mode. But that's up to the client to decide on what kind of error you give for that. But
So we
that will
basically
fail.
want to have this always if the client tries to run us in validation mode, yeah? We can check.
Yeah, I think the best way would be that you fail the simulation and you will give a user a good error saying about that the gas price is missing. But I'm also fine with that it will fail to the gas price error as well. But it's not as nice.
Mhm.
Do we have anything else to discuss? I think we are getting quite close already.
Yep.
Have you been running the Hive, Oleg? Do you have been?
Yes, I'm able to run Hive, and I was currently working on integrating it better into our client base so that we won't like kill all the good stuff we've introduced.
Have you been running so that you will generate the test with gets and then you are comparing the results to the Nethermind?
Well, I was running it in like I took your repo and I was able to run them and debug them. So, and as I understand, your code basically compares whatever Nethermind outputted to whatever Geth outputted at that time when you ran it. Or I
Yeah,
don't, I'm
you
missing
can
something.
you can run it both ways. You can generate with Nethermind and then you test to get, or the other way around. I think. But yeah, I have been running it that generate with the get, and then I compare those to Nethermind. But yeah, the results are a bit different depending how you do it, but it should work.
Mhm.
Have you been getting the same block hash? That's the one thing I'm worried about the most.
I think not yet.
Yeah. debugging that is going to be a bit difficult, but I hopefully will get it. I guess this is for today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya, bye.